He stopped to buy flowers like any other day, but what he saw across the street shattered his world. A woman from his past, holding two little girls, who looked just like him. What happened next will leave you speechless. Stay with me till the end. This story will change how you see love, regret, and second chances. Before we begin this powerful story, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you never miss an inspiring moment. Like and share this video to help us reach more hearts. This is more than just storytelling. Each story carries a meaningful message that can uplift, heal, and empower. Billionaire stopped to buy flowers, then froze when he saw his ex holding twin daughters. I stopped by the flower stall on 5th and Madison. Same one I used to go to when I still had a heart. The old woman smiled at me. Same way she used to smile at us. Back when it was us. I picked up a bouquet of white lilies. My mother used to say they meant forgiveness. I never asked who she was trying to forgive. I turned to pay, and my world stopped moving. Across the street, by the bookstore window, a woman stood, cradling a child in each arm. My heart recognized her before my mind did. Her name tried to crawl out of my throat, but it hit the wall of my shame. Sophia. She had not changed much. Still wore her hair in that same quiet braid. Still had that soft strength in her shoulders. But her eyes, they were tired now. She did not see me. Thank God. The little girls, twins, held onto her coat with sleepy eyes and smudged cheeks. One of them sneezed. She bent down, kissed her forehead, and pulled a pink scarf tighter around the child's neck. I felt a pain in my chest I had not felt in years. Not since the night I left. Not since the night I chose power over love. You see, I was not always this man. The billionaire they write about in magazines. Back then, I was just a man chasing numbers. Chasing deals. Chasing an empire built on sand. And Sophia. She was my anchor. She held my face when I failed. Held my hand when my father died. Cooked lentils and rice when all we had was one gas burner in a rental flat. She never asked for diamonds. Only time. Only truth. Only love. And I failed her. I remember the night she told me she was pregnant. I remember the joy on her face. The way she held my palm to her belly like it was sacred. And I remember walking away, telling her it was too soon. Telling her I had plans. I chose a boardroom over the heartbeat of my own children. And now, standing here in a $1,000 suit, holding lilies of forgiveness, I was just a ghost of a man. The light changed. She stepped forward. Our eyes met. Time did not just stop. It collapsed. She froze. The girls looked up at me, then at her. I saw something flicker in Sophia's eyes. Shock, yes. But something else. Something that looked like pain covered in grace. She nodded slightly. Not a greeting. Not a welcome. Just acknowledgement. And I broke. Right there, under the New York sky. With petals in my hand and guilt in my lungs. I broke. I wanted to fall to my knees. Tell her everything. Tell her I had built empires. But lost my soul in the process. I wanted to ask, are they mine? But I already knew. The way the girl held her hand. The way the other twirled her hair when nervous. Those were my gestures. The silence in Sophia's eyes was louder than any courtroom. I stepped forward. May I talk to you? My voice cracked. The same voice that had commanded mergers, silenced rooms, negotiated billions, now trembled in front of the only woman, whose forgiveness I had no right to seek. She looked at the girls, then at me. She did not speak. Just nodded, slightly, and I followed her, like a child, lost in the city, searching for home. We walked in silence. Her heels clicked softly against the pavement. The girls, holding tightly to her coat, glanced at me, curious, unaware. I kept a slight distance, afraid to step too close, afraid she would change her mind. We stopped at a small park, the one with the iron benches and broken fountain. The girls ran to the swings. Sophia sat down slowly, folding her coat. She did not look at me. Not yet. I sat at the far end of the bench, the lilies still in my hand, now bruised. Like us. They are beautiful, I said. She nodded. They are mine. It was not a question. It was breath. It was truth. Sophia turned her head. Her eyes shimmered, but no tears fell. Yes. I felt everything in me collapse. 6 years. Gone. First steps. First words. Scraped knees. Bedtime stories. All lived without me. Why did you not tell me? Her gaze hardened slightly. You left. Not just me. All of it. I wanted to explain that I was scared, that I was building a future, that I thought I needed to be ready. But excuses sounded like dust in my throat. I was wrong. She looked away. One of the girls, the taller one, came running back. Mommy, push me. Sophia stood. Before walking away, she whispered without looking back. You do not get to say sorry in one sentence. After disappearing for 6 years. Then she was gone, chasing laughter, holding tiny hands, living a life I was never part of. I sat alone, lilies crushed, truth heavy, and still, somewhere inside that pain, was a flicker of something else. Hope. The wind shifted, carrying the scent of tulips and roasted almonds from the nearby vendor. It reminded me of spring mornings with Sophia, back when we used to dream without deadlines. I stood up slowly, watched her push the swing. One daughter giggled, head thrown back. The other waited patiently, tracing shapes in the dirt with her shoe. They looked so safe, so loved. But I saw it now. What it cost her. Her coat was old, shoes worn thin, no ring on her finger. She had done it all, alone. And yet she had not crumbled. She had built a world out of heartbreak. She had turned abandonment into motherhood. I walked toward the swing set, my hands trembling. Sophia noticed. She did not stop me, but her body tensed. A silent warning, a boundary I dared not cross. I stopped 2 feet away. The smaller girl looked up, dark eyes, wide, cautious. I crouched, slowly. Hi, I said. I'm a friend of your mom. She tilted her head. Are you a doctor? Sophia's lips parted. A whisper of a smile. Almost. No, I said gently. Not a doctor. The taller girl ran back. She stared at me, then at Sophia. Mommy, who is he? There it was. The moment. The line I had no right to cross, but could not walk away from. Sophia kneeled beside her daughters. She looked at me, and for the first time, really looked. Pain, anger, love, regret. It was all there, woven like threads in her eyes. She spoke softly, measured. He is someone who used to love me. The air caught in my lungs. Her words pierced. Not cruel, but honest. The girls blinked, unsure what to do with that kind of truth. Then the smaller one stepped closer. Did you stop? I froze. Sophia watched me, not as a woman scorned, but as a mother, waiting to see what kind of man stood before her daughters. I swallowed the lump in my throat. No, I said. I never stopped. But I left. And that was the worst thing I have ever done. Silence fell. Not awkward. Not cold. Just heavy. Then Sophia whispered, "Do not make promises." "I will not," I said. "Not today. Today, I just want to be here." She nodded. Not yes. Not no. Just maybe. The girls returned to the swings. One jumped, laughed, fell softly onto the grass. The other followed, her scarf trailing behind her like a ribbon in the wind. Sophia sat back down. Her eyes followed them. But her voice found me. "I worked nights," she said. "Cleaned hotel rooms. Wrote grants when they slept. Sold my sketches online. People liked the way I drew silence." I stood beside her, my chest tight, my soul heavier than gold. I was not there to help. She looked up at me. "You do not get to rewrite the past. But you can stop lying to yourself about why you left." I nodded. She was right. Every word. I had not left because I needed time. I left because I was weak. Because I believed love would slow me down. Because I thought success meant being alone at the top. And yet, the view from the top, without them, was hollow. "I still have your drawings," I whispered. She turned, surprised. "The one with the bird cage," I added. The door open. No bird inside. Her breath caught. "I bought it from a gallery. Did not know it was yours until I saw the signature. SM. Sophia Marie." She blinked slowly. The wind tugged at her hair. For a moment, we were 20 again. No money. No pressure. Just stolen time and silly dreams. Then her phone rang. She answered. Short call. She hung up and stood. "I have to go. Work." I nodded. She turned to the girls. "Come on, little stars." They ran to her. Shoes muddy. Hearts light. I hesitated. Then reached into my coat. Held out a small envelope. My number. And something else. She took it without opening. "If you ever need help. Or if they ever ask questions." Sophia met my gaze. Something softened. "I will not lie to them," she said. "Good," I answered. "I do not deserve that kind of mercy." The girls waved as they walked away. Sophia did not. But just before they turned the corner, one of the twins ran back. She handed me something. A tiny sticker. Glittery. Shaped like a heart. Then she ran again. Into her mother's arms. I stood there. Frozen. The sticker warm in my hand. Like forgiveness. Trying to take shape. I stared at the heart in my palm. It sparkled in the fading light. A child's gift. Simple. Innocent. Unaware of the storm behind her existence. I placed it carefully in my wallet, right next to the photo of my father, and the business card of the first man who ever told me I would fail. Strange how the smallest things hold the greatest weight. I did not move for a long time, just stood there, in the hush of evening, with flower petals clinging to my coat, and shame clinging to my bones. People passed by, laughing, typing, living, and I stood still, trying to feel worthy, trying to imagine what kind of man I would need to become to earn my way back into that little girl's life, into both of their lives, into Sophia's world, that she had rebuilt brick by brick. With tears she never got to cry. I walked home, not to my penthouse in Manhattan, but to the brownstone I kept on the quieter side of the city, the one no one knew about, the one that still had her teacup in the cupboard, still had sketches I had framed. When I thought maybe she would return, I sat by the fireplace, lit a single candle, and pulled out the envelope I had handed her. It held a letter, one I had written 3 months ago, then rewritten again and again. She never knew. I had followed her work from a distance. Her art, her charity fund, the community center she volunteered at every Saturday. I donated quietly, never with my name, just initials, just hope. I sipped old wine and listened to the silence. No voices, no footsteps, no laughter down the hall. And that was when it hit me. Money had never made me powerful. It had made me empty. Love, real love, was the only wealth that had ever held weight in my soul. I reached for my phone, typed a message, deleted it, typed again, deleted. How do you say, I am still the man who left, but I am not the same anymore? Instead, I did the only thing I knew how to do honestly. I opened my laptop and started to write. To my daughters. Dear girls, you do not know me yet, but I have known you since before you were born. I do not deserve to be called your father. Not yet. But I hope one day I can earn the right to hear you say it. I missed your first cry, your first smile, your first steps. That loss is mine, not yours. Your mother. She is the strongest woman I have ever known. She gave you life and gave you the world. Even when the world turned its back on her, she did what I failed to do. She stayed. She protected your innocence. She kept your light burning, even when hers began to flicker. If there is one person you should be proud of, it is her. If I could turn back time, I would never walk away. But we only walk forward now. So here is my promise. I will not demand space in your world. I will not expect anything. But I will be here. Always. In whatever way you need. As a helper. As a friend. As the man who is trying to become better. Because you exist. Because you smiled. Because you gave me that sticker. You showed me more kindness than I deserved. And that kindness tore open something in me that had been locked for far too long. I want you to grow up knowing that even broken men can be repaired. That even when someone leaves, they can choose to return. Not just with flowers, but with truth, with humility, with change. I hope you never feel abandoned. I hope you always know that you were never the problem. The problem was the fear in the man I used to be. But I am not him anymore. I am trying. One word at a time. One act at a time. One day at a time. With love. If you ever want it. Dad. I printed the letter. Folded it carefully. Tied it with a thin ribbon. Not fancy. Just clean. Just honest. Then I walked out again. Back into the night. Back to the city that never stops. And this time, I did not bring lilies. I brought the truth. I stood outside the community center. Saturday morning. Chalk drawings on the sidewalk. Children's laughter echoing from inside. And on the bench beneath the old maple tree, Sophia. A sketchbook in her lap. A quiet focus in her eyes. I walked slowly, holding the letter. My heart beating louder than the traffic behind me. She looked up, calm, steady, wiser than I remembered. I handed her the letter. No words, no expectations. She took it, held it in her palm. Then gently, she placed it beside her on the bench. You stayed quiet, she said. Most men talk first. Defend, bargain, justify. I am done talking, I replied. I would rather build than beg. Her eyes shimmered, not with tears, but with something deeper. Forgiveness that had not yet been given, but might someday be. The girls ran out of the building, one carrying paint on her sleeve, the other dragging a bag of colored pencils. They saw me, waved, smiled. This time, I waved back, not as a stranger, but as a man willing to stand at the edge of their lives, until they were ready to let me in. Sophia stood. She handed me the letter back, still unopened. You will read it to them one day, she said. Not today, but someday. Then she walked away, hand in hand with our daughters, a quiet grace in every step, and I remained on that bench, still, hopeful, changed. Moral of the story: sometimes, success is not in what you achieve, but in what you are willing to rebuild. It is never too late to grow, to own your mistakes, to fight for the love you once walked away from. True strength is not power. It is humility. And sometimes, the most powerful thing a man can do is return, not to fix the past, but to honor the future. Thank you for being a part of this heartfelt journey. If this story touched your heart, please share it, leave a comment below, and remind someone today. You are never truly alone.